Hey guys, this is Sweet Nightingale here, and we're going to do a little update. This is February 3rd, 2012. And yeah, there are just a couple of things I wanted to tell you. First of all, we are up to 403 subscribers. I had made a couple of Sims 3 videos, and the last one I made, it's not up yet, but I, recorded some stuff like yesterday and the day before and stuff, and I was at 390 something, and now we're up to like 403. Yay! Actually, my 400th subscriber was my friend Ian, which is pretty cool. I think that's actually pretty cool, so yay! So we're getting there, and once we hit 500, then we can have our house contest, so we're getting there. We're getting there. Kind of sort of slow, but sure, but we're getting there. Okay. Now the next thing I want to talk about, and I'm going to turn my bitch switch on here a minute. I don't like to do this, and I don't do it very often, but I think this needs to be nipped in the bud before anything gets really serious. Well, I mean, not serious, but just before it gets any worse, and because this has been just like really super annoying to me. I've gotten 2 comments. One of them was like a long time ago, and they're from different people. I'm not going to tell you who it was or anything, because that's, that's not necessary. But anyway, I got like 2 comments. One was a long time ago, and then one was, pretty recently. And it was, they were to the tune of, oh, you're copying Queen, and you're copying, you're in this and this and this, and you're copying Queen, and one of them was like, because Damien was named Damien, and well, you took that name from her video, and which to me, that person, I don't think bothered to go and watch my other videos, to which we had the baby names contest, and that name was picked fair and square, and if whoever picked it liked the name that that Queen did, so what, who cares? There's more than one person in this world named Damien. And then like, the recent one was on my More Magic special, and then what I named my latest medieval special, and I named it More Magic because that's what the set in the Sims 3 store is called. Plain and simple. So, it wasn't to undermine Queen or anything like that. I don't copy anybody. And if I do something, I mean, I have my own style. I do my own way of doing things, and I like Queen's videos. I think, she sounds like a pretty nice person. But I don't copy her style. I have my own way of doing things, and that's just the way it is. And if I happen to do something similar, it's not like, purposefully or whatever. It's just, it's just because of whatever comes into mind, and I don't really keep track of, like what her Sims wear or what she calls her episodes or anything. Like, I guess she called hers like Wine Divine or something, and I called mine Divine Wine or whatever. Anyway, but it's just, whatever fit, and, I come up with my own names for my own episodes, and, that's just the way it is. And if, like I said, if something happens to be a little similar once in a while, like if anyway, I think you guys get the gist. It happens. I'm sorry. It happens. Get over it. It is. What it is. And I like I said, I have my own way of doing things, and that's how it is. So, all right, enough of that. Let's move on to more pleasant things. Where I want to go with this LP. Oh no! First let me talk about my game issues. I had some game issues, as you guys know. We had a glitch when Wanda #1 was born, so we had to delete her out of the family and so forth. But anyway, the video that I recorded, Catherine did have her baby. I'm not going to tell you how many she had or what they were or anything like that. You'll just have to wait and find out. But yeah, we had a similar issue, and my screen just went really wonky, and you'll kind of see it toward the end of the next part that's going to be uploaded. But so anyway, I went in, and I had cleaned out, a bunch of the downloaded Sims I had, and I got rid of, like, I think I got rid of those, like, bad boots that were causing some issues and stuff. And, but I have a couple of mods in there. I took out the mods. I took out pretty much everything. I took out, like, all the custom content hair that I have. I mean, I took out, like, everything, and I ended up having to, I even uninstalled and reinstalled the game. That didn't work. And so then I ended up resorting to just taking out like all of my store content, which I have a lot, and just reinstalling everything, and that seemed to help. And let me tell you, it took forever and ever and ever. I was up like half the night, half the night, like the other night, and then like part of yesterday morning and stuff doing that. It was actually Wednesday night I was up like half the night for, and then yesterday morning I was doing a bunch, and that wasn't a fun thing to have to do. But we're running pretty smoothly now, it looks like, and I think we're gonna be good to go. So that's good. At least we got it figured out. All right, now where I want to go with this LP. Some of you had expressed the desire for Zeke to turn into a vampire. I think one or two of you or whatever might have wanted Damien to, because, you know, he is like super annoying, and during the day he'd be out of the family's way and stuff because he'd be sleeping and stuff. But I'm going to go with Zeke because that was what most of you voted on. So I've never played a vampire sim before, so I did some research, and apparently, and I'll kind of, tell you guys what you have to do in case anybody else is kind of struggling with this, I guess. But in order for your sim to turn into a vampire, you have to befriend a vampire. Like, you have to be their, at least a friend. You can be romantic with them. That always helps, you know. But you have to at least be a friend. And then once you're a friend, then you can ask them to transform you or turn you, or ask to turn. But if you try to do it before you become friends with the vampire will refuse. They will not do anything like that. So you have to at least be friends with them. And then you can ask them to transform you. And it takes like, I want to say like 3 days, I think, for the transformation to completely take place. And so forth, and you'll get to have like all these neat little powers and stuff. So I think what we're gonna do, because I don't know, I know that there's some in Sunset Valley, but our family doesn't really know a vampire. Jessica got hunted by one time, but he or she or whatever never caught up with her when she was out pulling the pranks. But so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put down either like Plasma 501 or something else, like maybe another bar or lounge or something like that. And when I change the lot type, call it a vampire lounge, and then we should have some vampires. So I think I'll probably have like Catherine go in there, because she has a two-star celebrity level, and then if she goes in there, then we don't have to bribe anybody. So yeah. I think we're going to do that, and then she'll befriend a vampire, and then on some other night or whatever, she will ask the vampire to come over, and then we'll have Zeke befriend the vampire, and then we'll ask the vampire to bite Zeke, to turn him. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm going with that. And then I'm going to put a poll question on my Facebook page where it's where we're going to ask about like Jessica and Davy. We're going to get them two together. Most of you wanted those two to be together, and they're kind of up there anyway because they're already best friends. And once Jessica ages up, then we can get a little bit more romantic with him. So the question's going to be, do we want to, once we get Jessica and Davy married or whatever, do we want to move them out, or do we want to keep them, and once the others grow up, move them out? Or do we want to, like, if we move out Davy and Jessica, then just, play Zeke when he gets older and stuff, and have him get married and whatnot. So, I'll put that on my Facebook page. The link is going to be in the description. I always have that in the description of my videos. So go to my page, like it, and then, comment there, or if you want, you can comment on the video too, but the question will be up on the Facebook page, so it'll be a little easier. Okay, guys, so this is where we're going to end off here, and we'll see you guys in the next part. I'll have another Sims Medieval one coming up, and also another Sims 3 one, so be on the lookout for those. And you guys have a wonderful day. Stay safe and stay warm. Happy simming and all that, and we'll talk to you guys later. Bye!